Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, June. Hi, Cheryl. Hello, hello. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to keep you on mute just so that we don't affect the recording. So hello, ladies. Lovely to have you here. So I hope you managed to catch the recording from yesterday, the replay. If not, don't worry. You've got plenty of time to catch it before the recordings go offline, so everyone can watch them until close of play on Sunday. Let me just sort some text stuff this side. Hang on. Okay, so welcome to day 2 of 5 days, 5 ways to help your cat survive Christmas. I know yesterday was a bit of a curveball where we talked about ourselves, but actually it's really important because, you know, our energy can affect our cats. So it was almost like, let's put our oxygen mask on first, and now we can talk about the cats, which is, you know, the fun bit. So today we're talking about how cats are individuals, and we're going to talk about the presents, the tree, the dreaded tree, which everybody, you know, I'm getting a lot of comments and questions posted to me about that. And we're going to look at how you can understand your cat and how you can support your cat. So if you see me looking to the left, it's because I'm looking to my notes, because I want to make sure that I cover everything without going too much off track. As for those of you that have seen me live before or joined any classes, you know, it's always a possibility, because I could talk about cats in any way, shape or form all day, every day. So today we're going to start with dressing up. And I don't mean us, although I do have my second Christmas top on today, trying to go festive every day. But I mean our cats. So we had Leo. How long have we had Leo? 2 and a bit years. So this will be our 3rd Christmas with him, I think it is. And when we first had him, I mean, I'd never had a black cat myself. My aunties had them. But with a black cat, you know, he looks gorgeous with little things on him. We've got a collar on him anyway, which has got a little red pendant. Sometimes we've got a red one, sometimes we've got a silver one, and that has his details. If he ever gets lost, God forbid, or gets stuck somewhere, it's got my phone number, it's got the fact that he's asthmatic. But the first year that we had him, he was very young compared to how Pickle was when we got her. She was 4, Leo was 1.5. So we went to Pets at Home and we saw this gorgeous little silver bow tie and a little like tie that was on a little white collar that was all on a collar. And I said to my husband, you know, the novelty part of my brain was activated, and we bought it. Got it home, put it on Leo, and you should have seen the look on his face. He was less than impressed. It didn't help because at the time he had never worn a collar. So he was previously feral. Then he was at the rescue center. So he didn't know what on earth was going on. He's like, these humans have put something on me, you know, it's around my throat. So first things first, if you're thinking about dressing up your cat, there are different levels of dressing up, you know. So a little bow tie on a collar might not seem like a big deal. For Leo, who had never worn a collar, wasn't really keen on humans, it was a big deal. But there are some people that will put their cats in like actual outfits, you know, like top to tail, you know. Some cats will tolerate that, other cats not so much. And this is where I implore you to think about what you're doing for your needs and what you're doing for your cat's needs. So I put that collar on Leo. I'll be perfectly honest with you. You know, I tried to be as authentic and as transparent as possible. I put that collar on Leo 3 Christmases ago because I wanted it to look cute. I wanted to see what he'd look like on it. And my God, he was adorable, but he freaked out. So I did it for me, not for him. You know, I've been working with cats for over 15 years and I still make mistakes. You know, I'm a cat mom, I'm only human. So have a think about whether you want to dress your cat up or Christmassify them for you or for them. So the other example I've got to share with you is Pickle. In fact, let me go back cats before that. So when we were younger, we had 2 cats called Sam and Missy. Sam tragically was killed in a car accident when we were on holiday. But Missy she's very much a madam, very much, you know, like, I will not have cuddles and I will not really come near you. I'm a cat, I'm doing my own thing. But I remember we had them as kittens, and Mum would have this like velvet ribbon that we'd put around their necks at Christmas. Again, didn't know any better back then. I mean, this was years and years and years ago. I had that piece of ribbon from Missy and I put it on Pickle one year, and within seconds she'd hissed, growled, and got the bloody thing off her. She was not keen at all. And you'd think I'd have learnt my lesson back then, but obviously not. So if you're going to dress your cat up, whether it's a collar or a full-blown outfit, think about doing some behavior training. Now, I know this might take a bit of work, but it is really important because there is so much going on at Christmas time, which we're going to cover some of the other stuff today, that putting an outfit or a collar or a hat or some paw covers, whatever it may be, could potentially be that one stressful event too many that tips your cat over the edge. It could be that one little thing that just makes them kind of go over their threshold, which means they then start weeing around the house or, you know, pooping on your bed, who knows? And again, might seem dramatic, but we don't know what's going on with our cats. We don't actually know the level of anxiety or fear or nervousness or whatever the emotion may be. We don't know where they are. We don't know how they're coping. And generally with cats, we don't see until it's high. You know, we don't always notice because they hide it so well, not because we don't see, but we don't always notice that they are getting stressed until something is fairly obvious to us humans. So if you want to put an outfit, a hat, or a collar on your cat, start to do a bit of training now. You know, we're on the 7th of December. We've got a couple of weeks yet, although time is just flying by, I have to say, for me, but we've got a couple of weeks yet till Christmas. So start to do a bit of training with them. This session today is mostly about different forms of training. So the best piece of advice I can give you is positive reinforcement works much more effectively than any other form of behavior work. Now, there might be behaviorists out there that disagree with me. There may be cat guardians that disagree with me. But in my experience and my experience with my clients and as a human myself, positive reinforcement works the best. So if you want to put a collar, let's use a collar as an example on your cat. I'm going to use my nail oil. So you've got your cat here. I'm going to use my angel ring, make do with what you've got. You've got your cat, you've got your collar, okay? And you literally show the collar to the cat up to their nose. You let them come near and sniff it. And you, if you've got a clicker, you click it and you give them a treat. If you don't, you use verbal praise and you say, well done, good boy, good girl, and you give them a treat. So that's the first step, right? You let them come to the thing, or you gently, slowly come towards them, pause, because their eyes will be big, and then you let them come closer. That's the first step. And you continue to do that as often as you can. Okay. The second step is that you've got the thing, the hat, the collar, whatever it may be. And when they are comfortable, when they hold it here and they don't either come towards it or they're not bothered, you move the item and you gently touch them with it. I'm talking like for a millisecond, you know, you do it really slow and then it's a click, good boy, well done, good girl. And you slowly build it up. So if it were a collar, I can't unravel this, but if it were a collar, you would touch the collar near them. And then the next time you would have it either end, and you don't need to do it. I'll touch them on their throat or in their neck or the back way, whichever they're more comfortable with. You don't just go straight on and clip it on and see how they react. You've got to build it up. So cats respond really slowly to change, most of them. So just take your time. You've got plenty of time now before Christmas. Now, I appreciate there are a lot of other things going on, but if you want to consider the needs of your cat, this is the best way to do it. So some cats will tolerate dressing up, some cats not at all. You'll have cats that will be like burrowing into the outfit, you know, because they're happy to have it. They, you know, you see them walk with a swagger and things, but just be mindful of those really small, potentially insignificant behavior cues. So slightly tilted ears, slightly flattened ears, enlarged pupils, slightly open mouth, you know, body in a tight position, tail up straight. All of those behavior cues are saying to you, I'm not really comfortable, mum or dad. So have a think about the cat. Think about what their personality is like. Will they tolerate that on them? Because also think about the fact that when you put something onto your cat, be it a collar or an actual outfit, they can't necessarily get it off, and that may cause distress. So if you use any form of collar, use a clip release collar. So if they get their paw behind it, they can snap it off, and do the snap and pop it off. And if you've got an outfit that you put on them, do it for a very short space of time, because they will want to clean. They'll want to have access to their body. Cats aren't here for our enjoyment. They're not something to be paraded around. And again, people might disagree with this, but, cats aren't here for us to dress up and show off to the family. That's what teddy bears are for. That's what children are for. You make them look cute, and you put them in I'll never forget Annabelle being in a bear onesie on a Boxing Day. My God, she was so cute. My little niece. All jokes aside, peeps, think about what is right for your cat when it comes to dressing up. Okay, so let me just go through my list. We've done dressing up. Paper. So when you're wrapping presents, and when you actually get to Christmas Day and there are presents, think about how your cat's going to react. So I'll share with you, Leo. He gets freaked out. To be fair, Leo gets freaked out about most things. But, when it comes to paper, the long roll, when I start, because I set up camp in the front room, I tried to do my wrapping like over a weekend, put a lovely Christmas film on. I sit in the front room. I've got presents all around me. I've got, all my wrapping paper. I'm so organized. My sellotape, my scissors, it's like a project wrapping. That's what it is, and will be tight husband if he asks me to do anything in that time, because I'm in the zone. I'm with the film, I'm wrapping, present after present. I love it. I really do love it. Wrapping presents is my happy time. So when I get the rolls of paper out of the boiler room cupboard, you should see Leo's eyes. He looks at me and he's gone. And that's, a tube of paper, okay, like 50 times bigger than this. But so I have to go slow, I'm not going to just kind of turf it all out of the cupboard, bring it down the stairs. I am aware of where he is in the house, and I'm aware of how he's reacting. So you have a choice, you can choose to consider your cat's needs or not. So if I was like, I just can't get on with it, which some people have that attitude, they'd be getting their wrapping out, doing their thing, setting up camp, what have you. And, the cat can just work around it. I don't live my life that way. Leo's mental health and emotional health, obviously physical as well, is really, really important to me. So I will go really slow, getting the tubes of paper out. I will let him sniff them if he's come close enough to investigate. I will put them slowly down on the floor. As I pick them all up together, I will go really slowly down the stairs. If he's around and he's watching, we'll pause, he can sniff them, and then I'll go into the front room. Now, the noise of the actual paper, again, it's like a shopping bag. I don't know if your cats like, or how they are with like plastic kind of crinkly bags. Again, Leo doesn't like it. He's not used to it. I don't think he was probably socialized with that sound. So when I'm wrapping presents, I will generally shut the front room door. Now, that might seem extreme. Don't worry, he's not got any resources in the front room. That might seem extreme, but actually, I don't want him to come in, to look at what's going on, have that heightened state of anxiety, and go outside and then repeat that cycle through the 2 to 4 hours that I'm doing this. I want him to find somewhere else in the house that he can be calm, content, and he can cope with what's going on, usually on the windowsill in my husband's games room where the radiators are nice and warm. Then when I finished, I've got bags. I've got bags everywhere. Bags to go to mum's, bags to go to mum's, to go to her friends, bags to go to my dad, my sister. I've got bags and bags of presents. I'm like a female Santa. And that's all in the dining room now. So again, his territory has changed. There's new stuff there. So it's all on the table, on the dining room table, if I can fit it on there. And I will let him sniff and investigate. So 9 times out of 10, if I see Leo go towards or go on the table, the dining room table, he gets a swift and he a click of the fingers and he comes down. But on this occasion, I will let him sniff and investigate because it's a change in his territory. So this is the same for anything that happens over Christmas. The decorations, the tree, we'll talk about that more in a minute. The presents that come in from other people as well. We are so loved, and I am so grateful for the gifts that we get from other people. We end up with, crikey, bags of presents. Everyone is so generous, and from small ones to really big ones. And sometimes we struggle to fit them under the tree, even though we've got like a 7-foot tree. So that comes in, and that smells of other people. So to Leo, that all smells foreign, and it's coming into his territory. So again, you've got a couple of options. You can put things away in cupboards. I don't have that much cupboard space because all my cupboards are full of crap. You can put them away in cupboards if you can find the space, or if not, try to stagger what comes into the home. So I am one of those protector mums. Okay. I will tell my family, I don't wish to receive that yet, or can you hold on to it for just a little bit longer? We've just had mum's delivery, because I don't want Leo to be overwhelmed. After all, this is all coming into his space, into his territory. So my dad's got 2 cats, gorgeous, gorgeous boys, and dad's stuff will smell like sepia and chaos. That's a big thing for Leo to deal with. So it might just seem like my dad's dropping off some presents, but for Leo, this is huge. So when I talked yesterday about the stresses that we as humans have, the dinner, the presents, the cards, the decorations, what our cats will experience during Christmas is actually very, very different. So if you do receive presents from other people, can you stagger them as you put them under the tree? Can you speak to your family and ask them to kind of consider or to schedule when things can get dropped off? Or if you've just had a delivery, can you put one set to one side in a cupboard somewhere so that your cat can adjust to one change of scent at a time? The scent profile in your home will change over Christmas, and we're going to talk about senses tomorrow. So have a think about how you can support your cat with that. Okay. So we've got paper. Oh, the other thing to say is when it comes to Christmas Day and you're opening presents, this makes me chuckle because there's different types of present people. So Rob, my husband, oh my God, I roll my eyes because it drives me crackers. He will get a little bit of sellotape and he'll peel it off each tiny bit at the end of the parcel, and it takes like 5 minutes. It's not really to open a present. I'm someone that's like, rip it open, what's inside? I have no patience. And those of you that have worked with me or know me personally, I've got a tattoo that says patience because I just have none. So Christmas Day is challenging for us in different ways. But the good thing is, because Rob is slower with presents, again, it gives Leo the opportunity to cope with what's going on. So we generally will have a bag or one of the bags that have been dropped off for presents in, and we put the rubbish in there. So, we try to recycle obviously as much as we can, but it's not strewn all over the floor, which, if you think about it, if you've got a cat that is interested and wants to play in the paper, brilliant. Sprinkle a few bits on the floor, roll some balls up and throw them and let the cat enjoy them. There's nothing better than having a cat that will partake in the kind of seasonal festivities with you. But not all cats are like that. So when we have had this, I think it was the first year we had Leo, we were putting rubbish kind of scattered around. It's all part of the fun on Christmas Day, right? You open the presents and you see the kind of carnage around you. But by doing that and putting it on the floor, I was limiting Leo's territory, the space where he normally goes, because he didn't want to walk around the paper, because that made that noise, which kind of made him jump and unsettled him. He wouldn't be in the room. So even in those few hours, his territory is limited by what we're doing. So that's why last year, and we'll do it this year, we'll put all the rubbish in a bag when it's been finished. So just have a think about that, how you're opening the presents. I'm not trying to say orchestrate your Christmas, but some simple changes like having a bag for rubbish can make a really big difference for the cats. Okay, so let's talk about the tree. Dun, dun, dun. The pinnacle of Christmas, whether you've got a plastic one, a real one that goes on the wall, one that replaces the chair in the front room, whatever it may be. A lot of people have trees. And again, I know a lot of people don't have trees or celebrate Christmas. Absolutely fine. But a question I'm getting asked a lot at the moment is, how can I stop my cat going up the tree, in the tree, towards the tree? So let's go back to basics. Like we've said, their territory is changing. You're bringing in plastic or fake, plastic or real, you're bringing in this thing. Now, not only does it smell, I'm not saying that it's like stinky, I mean it'll have a plastic smell or a tree smell. It's a thing, right? So it could be this big, it could be this big, it could be this big. You need to give your cat time to adjust. Best piece of advice I can give you, do it slowly. Bring the tree out. So let's talk about plastic or synthetic trees. Bring the box down from the loft, for example. Let the cats investigate for an hour. When they've got to the point that they're not bothered by it and they're just walking past it, move on to the next stage. take the tree out of the box. Again, leave it to stand just where it is. Let the cats investigate. When they're not bothered by it, put it into position. Start to unfurl the, what are they called? Branches. Goodness sake, words. If you've got a real tree like we're going to have, we haven't got ours yet, we will bring it in and we will leave it in its wrapping and let Leo investigate it. Then we'll put it into position and he will really kind of only have access to the stump. Is that the right word? I'm going to go with stump because I can't think of a better word. Tree stump. Yeah, I think that's right. It doesn't seem right. He will have access to the trunk. That's the word I'm thinking of. And a little bit of the tree when he's on the arm of the sofa. So I will let him sniff and I will let him scent around. The big thing is when it's decorated, what do you do? Now, there's different schools of thought on this. A couple of people say basically make it fearful. Now, like I said at the beginning, I don't agree with that as a training process, because the cat and the Christmas tree all comes down to training. It's all about behavior modification. So you can put tinfoil in your tree so that when the cat goes near it, it makes a noise and they're scared and jump away. You can use a water squirter. So when the cat goes near the tree, you squirt the cat. Again, I don't agree with either of those. Some people say you can put orange scents on or around the tree. Now, because I work with self-selection and the cat knows what it needs to heal, you might have a cat that actually needs the properties of a citrus scent. So will actually go towards your tree because they're like, oh, it smells good. It's just what I need. So you've got no guarantee that a citrus smell will deter your cat. I'll share with you what we've done with Pickle for years and with Leo because it works really, really well. So I use distraction and deterrent, basically. So I will monitor Leo when he goes towards the tree. If he's having a sniff, that's fine. He gets lots of verbal praise. Good boy, well done. You're having a sniff. Good boy, high pitched as high as you can go. You know, and give him lots of praise. And when he comes away from the tree without having booped a bauble or tried to walk on the branches, which we've had, he gets a treat. Because I am telling him that behavior you've just done is what I want. Continue. Well done. Okay. If he goes to put a paw, I don't forget one year I wasn't watching him. I looked to husband, I looked back and Leo had 2 paws. He's like half in the tree. Oh my life. If you have that situation, Leo from us doesn't get a squirt, doesn't get a bang or, anything that's fearful. He gets something to distract him. So he gets a very short, very sharp noise from me. So the tone is very, very different. I've used this with Lily when we had her as a kitten years ago. It's great because it makes the cat sort of look away to see what it was. But it's not like a crash. It's not a massively fearful noise where they hear this crash and run away. It helps to pause them in that moment and for them to look. Then when they've done that, you then use the positive reinforcement. So let me run it through what happened with Leo. Leo's half in the tree. I go, Leo, and he starts to withdraw. I then get a treat, throw it the other way at the end of the front room. He runs after the treat. Good boy, well done, brilliant. They stroke him. There we go. Now, yes, you could argue that he is getting a treat for being in the tree, but the fact is the point in the middle where he gets the noise, it's not, when it comes to behavior modification, it's about behavior reward. Whereas with that in the middle is interrupting that pattern of behavior reward. I hope that makes sense. I don't know if I've articulated myself particularly well with that. So try not to use a water squirter. Try not to use things that will potentially induce fear in your cat, either from you or the tree. Because let's face it, I don't want it to be that Leo is fearful of our Christmas tree. I mean, to be honest with Leo, he uses it to sit underneath it. He loves it when there's presents there because he can hide away. So think about using distraction. Think about using behavior modification to get the desired behavior. Now, if you've got a cat that just goes and runs and jumps and launches themselves at the tree, we need to think about something else. You know, a simple isn't going to work because they're all in the tree and the tree is falling over. You know, if you've got that, I would suggest you put a really like a cat tree or a cat tree next to the tree, so that you can put treats on there. And when they're on their post, again, reward the behavior that you want. That's the key here. Reward the behavior that you want. Don't punish the behavior that you don't want, because cats don't understand punishment. Okay, so if they've already done something bad, move on. You know, get them to do what you want them to do by rewarding the positive behaviors. Okay. I've written the tree twice on my notes. Obviously needed to make sure we cover that today. Okay. Hang on. Okay, so that's going to be it for today. I don't want to talk about stuff for tomorrow because otherwise we'll run over, and I want to make sure we've got time to cover everything. So tomorrow is all about senses. Cats being overwhelmed, how to cope with the different senses for your cat. Friday we've got the Q&A, and Thursday we're talking about nutrition, so Christmas Day lunch, selection boxes, that kind of thing. So don't forget, if you've got any questions, feel free to email them to me or save them for Friday for the Q&A. We will try to get the recording of this out to you as soon as possible. So thank you to everyone that joined me live today, and for anyone catching the replay, if you've got any questions or comments, feel free to get in touch. I hope you found it useful. Bottom line for today is use positive behavior modification. Positive reinforcement is the way forward. Reward the behaviors that you want. Consider your cat's individuality. Consider their own specific needs. Do they want to jump in and get involved? If so, enjoy that and embrace it. If they're a little bit more hesitant and they need to take some time to get used to things, be sure to give them that opportunity. Give them that opportunity to adjust to the changes in their environment, adjust to the changes in their territory. It's not just our home that we're prepping for Christmas. We are changing the scene of their territory. And when that is unsettled or mixed up, the cat will feel unsettled. So work with your cat to have the Christmas that you want. Thank you again, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will speak to you soon. Take care. Bye for now.